it's Ashta with Revela, and I'm just here to say millennials are ruining feedback. And rightly so. Let's just talk about generations for a moment. Millennials grew up with more communication than any other generation in the workplace thus far. They've also grown up quite publicly. They could check their grades online almost instantly. They grew up playing video games against real people that gave them immediate results of either level up or die. They played sports that had visual wins and losses, much like the rest of us, but they could also track them online. They grew up with Twitter, with Facebook, with MySpace, with Instagram, with chat rooms, with text messages and emails and calculators and the internet and cameras all in their back pockets. And they can get prompt feedback from their parents, their peers, their teachers, their coaches. They had an instantaneous ability to ask questions, to share their opinions, and to provide commentary. And when growing up in a constant information loop, it's no wonder millennials need consistent feedback. But millennials didn't change the workforce. Technology did. Millennials measure themselves against every other generation, our peers and our predecessors. But through the need to acclimate, so does every other cohort. With virtual perfection staring you in the face, it's easy to be uncertain about where you fit. I mean, am I even good at my job? Do I fit? Am I even going in the right direction? And these questions aren't specifically millennial. Even a more tenured generation has felt the same burden of doubt, and according to a recent Gallup poll, there's a direct correlation between the more conversations managers have with their employees and the more engaged employees feel, with only 19% of millennials and 18% of non-millennials saying that they meet with their manager on a weekly basis, and of those, only 44% of millennials and 43% of non-millennials actually feel engaged. And this is cause for concern. So while millennials do need more feedback, so does everybody else. While millennials grew up with the constant need for it, every other generation has learned to adapt and is now also expecting the same feedback. And I know what you're thinking. I don't have time for this. But you do. I have 5 tips to help you. 1. Talk more frequently. You're really trying to build an arena of coaching and support that creates a communication foundation. Get to know your reports on a personal level, and the crucial conversations become easier to have when they know that you're in their corner. Positive and negative feedback given frequently will be taken graciously. Number 2, give it in multiple avenues. Feedback doesn't need to be this formal sit down in the manager's office meeting anymore. You can text, IM, email, drop by their desk, or even have a quick phone call. All of this allows the person to get more feedback and ask specific questions if necessary without taking up too much time. Number 3, be specific. Be very, very specific. Don't just tell them that they did a good job. What made the job good and what value did they add? If there's a need for constructive criticism, explain what you were specifically looking for and ask them how they could have done it differently, and then pause and let them come up with the ideas. 4, keep it short. Think Twitter. What are the most important points that you can cover in 140 characters or less? These conversations don't need to be lengthy when they're happening so often. Number 5, make it timely. Don't wait. This is where that constant comes in. Feedback is taken to heart when it's given in the moment and when it can be reacted to. Timely feedback can feel more emotional, and it really sets an expectation when it needs to be said. So let's not just give millennials the feedback they're looking for. Everybody needs that validation and communication that you as a manager can provide. It doesn't have to take half of your day to do it. So how can you implement some of these to give the feedback that everybody's looking for in your workplace? What are you going to do?